What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm George. This is Bert from Baggers and Brews, and today we are talking to you about how you can extend your riding season. Winter is upon us.
Yeah, man.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, we don't all live in Florida, California, and Arizona. So for some of us, it gets a little crazy, it gets a little hairy, the temps drop. Snow aside, it just gets cold. Yeah. And you gotta change things up. And a lot of people just put the bikes away and winterize it and we'll see you in the spring, but not everybody wants to do that, and there's ways around having to do that. There's plenty of ways, and we know a lot of people up here that ride throughout the whole winter, and that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today. Yeah, and we're going to have those haters in the comments who are going to say, well, once they salt the roads, put the bike away. I completely agree with that. I think brine is bad. I think all that stuff is bad for your bike. But we go through long periods of cold weather here in Jersey. I know people further north do, where you don't have any of that stuff on the road. Yeah, I mean, it's already cold up here. It's already cold. It's already cold. It's already 25 degrees in the morning when I get up to go do things in the morning. So it's already cold enough to where fair weather riders aren't going to want to go ride. And there's nothing on the road. There's no snow. There's no threat of snow yet. It's just cold. Just cold. So I get it. If you don't want to put your bike through that stuff once they start salting and doing the roads, whatever. I understand that. But this is just ways to extend the season. Kind of broke this down into pretty much two different ways. And it's basically the gear and your bike setup. Yep. That's pretty much all you can really do to... It's all you can control. Yeah, it's all you can control. I mean, there's a third option, and that's move south, but... There is that. But we're talking about if you're stuck up here in the Northeast or somewhere in the North. So gear, obviously, it's something you can control, and there's a lot of options out there. First and foremost, you got to layer up. Have to layer. You have to layer up. You have to have multiple layers, insulate yourself, and have possible. Because I mean, we have times like right now where if we left in the morning to go ride, it's cold. It's 30 degrees. Yep. But by the afternoon, it might be 50. It might be 50, and then coming home, it might be in the 40s, 30s again. Right. Yeah. So you got to be layered up. If you're going out for the full day, you got to be able to like take some stuff off, put some stuff back on. So layers is a big part of it. Starting with those undergarments and like the wicking material and stuff like that. And wicking, you might think like wicking's not important. More important in the winter, really, I think, than it is in the summer because you're sweating and that sweat can get cold. So you want that wicked away from you. More important in the cold weather to have the wicking. Yeah. Definitely. But I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. You can buy lined jeans. You're a big fan of that? I'm a big fan. Bought mine at Costco, and they are fleece lined, and they have saved me many a day. Costco, I know LL Bean has them. LL Bean has them. There's probably plenty of companies out there with whatever you like, but wearing a lined jean for starters is good. And there's different levels of cold, right? There's different levels of how bundled you have to get. You might just be, 50 degrees, which is cold for a lot of people. If you're from Florida, 50 is like, oh my God. For us, it's like, ooh, it's like spring weather. Let's go ride. Let's go ride. So you just throw some lined jeans on, and a hoodie and a vest, and you're good. It all depends on what your cold is because it's different for everybody. But good leathers is huge, and a lot of the younger folks like kind of, balk at the leather. They think it looks old. It's not cool. It's really old, retro, old man. But man, good leathers. I mean, that's why bikers wear them. Not only just for the protection when for crash and things like that, but they're warm. They're insulated. Yep. It's from an animal that was meant to be outside. And it breaks the wind. It's such a huge piece. It breaks the wind. But you got to have good. There's crap out there. There's crap leather. Shameless plug. Legendary USA makes some fantastic leathers. All American-made leather. Check them out online. They're a big supporter of the channel, so give them a look. They got a lot of good stuff, but a lot of guys don't want to use chaps. They think that's like, there's the assless chaps joke. Man, when it's cold... Lifesavers. Especially lined chaps. Oh my gosh, man. It's a world of difference. It will let you ride, in much colder temps. So there's the leather. You can have nice winter leather gloves as well. That's important. Gloves. And here's the thing, disposable hand warmers. Yeah,
we wish we had those coming back from Daytona when it was 30 degrees and we were wet, and I will never ride without them
They're
again.
just those little packets almost that people will keep in their gloves or hold in their hands.
You could put them in your feet. You could put them in your gloves. You could tuck them wherever else it is that gets cold that you need to tuck them.
Places that get cold.
Just saying.
I will say there's an area that chaps don't cover, and I found that out the hard way. So just saying. And the other thing, if you really want to be able to endure some serious cold, it's heated gear.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the battery pack operated heated gear. We have tested some of that stuff out. Yeah. And while that works in cool weather, cold weather for a short stint,
yes.
If you're riding cold weather for long periods of time,
by long periods of time, probably 5-6 hours.
You're
going to be out 5-6 hours.
You're going to need, so if you're riding highway in cold weather, you're going to need the temperature, you know how these all have different settings, all the way up.
Yeah.
And if you do that with a battery-operated heated gear, it's going to kill the battery real quick. You're going to have very limited time. We found this out the hard way coming back from Daytona. So you really want the stuff that plugs in. Gerbing, is it? They make great stuff. You know, I don't know anybody that's had Gerbing that doesn't swear by how good they are.
It's socks, it's vests,
yes,
it's jacket liners.
And it all connects to each other and plugs in, so you're not worried about any battery. You're not having to charge it up. You're not going to run out of battery. You can ride for 10 hours straight, and you're going to get the same level of heat the whole way through. And they have, they have jacket liners. They have jackets. So there's all different levels. They have great gloves. That's if you hook up a whole, your head to toe gloves, jacket, pants, sock liners, or whatever they call those, and they're all connected. They're all heated. You're going to be in good shape, man. You're going to be able to ride in some pretty cold temps for long periods of time.
Yep.
We don't have that.
Not yet.
And we want to get some, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about them from a lot of people that do some serious cold weather riding. Yeah. So I trust their opinion on it. So that's a big one right there. That stuff, you plug that stuff in, you're good to go. Now you mentioned rain gear.
And I've done this in the past. When we were coming back from the world record ride and we were in Missouri, there was frost on the bikes. We left Missouri that morning, and I put on my rain gear. And I had lined rain gear at the time. Rain gear can really help you out because not only is some rain gear lined, and it's a real good wind break.
It does break the wind.
And just breaking the wind will make a huge difference. Because when it's cold, let me tell you, you can feel the wind come through every stitch. Like you could just feel it come through every stitch of your gloves and your jeans and your shoes. Like when it's cold, there's no hiding from it on a bike.
Yeah. And I think lastly, for as far as gear, like the coveralls, like the full body coveralls, like Dickies make them.
Yep, Carhartt makes them.
We know, the 2-Lane Life Crew out in California, they do a lot of cold weather riding in the mountains and stuff, and that's like all they have on is just they don't even use all the time use heated stuff. They're riding in the snow, and they just have like the Dickies coveralls on, and the full suit, not the overalls, but the coveralls.
Yep.
And they swear by that. So there's another option as far as gear goes. So I think we covered everything for gear.
It. Maybe a good neck like balaclava or like a scarf to go around the bottom of your neck if you're wearing.
And I guess if you're talking gear, helmet, is a big deal. You got to. If you're riding in frigid temperatures, you need a full face
helmet,
right?
Yeah.
And I think it's important to have a pin lock on that because if you don't in the cold weather, you breathing, that's just going to fog up and you're not going to be able to see any. A pin lock is crucial to the full face.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. I ran for a long time without the pin lock, and it was just a nightmare. I had to keep opening it to get air in there to circulate. You know how it's no different than your windshield and the defrost when you're it's a pain getting it to the right temp so that it doesn't keep frosting up. So the pin lock is a key for the helmet, but a good full face. I know a lot of guys don't like full face. A lot of guys wear half shells, but man, if you're talking frigid temperatures on your face, you gotta go full face. So that's gear. The second big thing.
Bike. Setting
up your bike properly. There's things you can do to your bike to make a world of difference.
Yep.
Right?
Heated grips.
Heated grips are huge.
Heated grips, they work.
They make a difference, man. And I think we were in a situation coming back from Daytona where we were so cold and so wet. Like, I don't know how much mine were helping at that point. Like, no. But that's like 12 hours on the bike.
12 hours
in 25 degree, 30 degree temperatures.
It was 30 degrees after we had ridden in rain for probably eight of those hours. So,
but if you combine heated grips with hand guards, world of difference. It keeps that wind off of your hands, off of the back of your hands, and allows that heated grip to really work. So now you do feel it.
Because here's the thing, when you have a fairing, you know, a fairing, if you have stock bars, is fine. Because your hands are out of the wind.
Right.
But once you put some bars on the bike, even I have 14s, I'm above my fairing now.
You're going to get some wind.
You're getting all the wind as far as I'm concerned. And you have 16, so you're getting wind. And
there's a bunch out there. I would definitely recommend Advan Blacks. They're fantastic, and you can get them color matched to your bike.
Yep.
Shameless plug. Love Advan Black stuff, but there are other companies that make them. There's a lot of cool ones out there, but you couple those with heated grips, man, makes a huge difference.
Big difference.
Big difference.
I'm a big proponent of the next one. Lowers, yes. They make a huge difference in the cold. Cold and rain. I mean, it keeps all that crap off your legs. And if you can keep your legs, you know, it's all about those. It's really easy to keep your core warm. I think so.
You know?
On a bagger it is.
On a bagger, but it's like your arms, your legs, your feet, your hands. Those are the things, if you don't protect, it's going to get you. You're going to just not be able to take it after a certain amount of time. So if you get lowers, and you got your feet solid on the floorboards, it's blocking a ton of that wind.
Yep. I call it wind management. It's just wind management, man. And
you couple any kind of precipitation with that, it makes a huge difference.
Because your feet, I'm not saying you're going to stay completely dry, but your feet stay more dry behind lowers than they do when they're out on unprotected.
Oh, absolutely. And if you have lowers, if you're rocking like the limiteds or the ultras or any of those that come with those, so it's just a huge difference. You just can't.
And if not Advan, you get some bolt on, you can get them color matched.
Yeah, I mean, listen, these things get expensive, totally get it.
Yep.
But you can get these things on Amazon, you can get these things on eBay. You can find the cheaper versions. They might not be as great, but they can get the job done for you if you're on a budget. You know, there's different levels there if you got a budget.
I would say though, if you are gonna buy like a budget pair of lowers, just be weary. They are close to the ground. They are gonna take a beating from rocks. They're gonna take a beating from stuff. So
hey, I mean, even the nice ones, the ones I had from Advan Black on the last bike, I mean, they take hits,
a beating.
You know, they'll get nicked. They're not going to stay perfect, but they're there to do a job, so it doesn't really matter. A good windshield.
Yes.
Right. So obviously we swear by Clockworks, but there's a lot of them out there. You just got to have one. You know, if you're getting into the cold weather, like I currently have a small 9-inch windshield on there.
Yep.
For looks, it looks good. It's the red one. You guys might have seen the video. If not, go check it out. But this time of year, now you want to block as much of that cold wind as you can.
You want that Pro
So
Touring.
a higher Pro Touring, one of those, is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, it really keeps it off, and it keeps the wind off your neck, off your shoulders. And when you're cold, you're going to be more tense when you're riding. So if you don't have to fight the wind when you're riding, it's going to be that much less fatigued.
Yeah.
And because when it's cold, man, you tense up. You get fatigued rather quickly.
Definitely. Just ask a gold ring rider that has one like this, and they look through it like, I don't feel anything. Warm as can be, right?
Hey, the stock limited one is like that.
Yeah, man, right? They're up there. And again, a lot of good brands out there. We love Clockworks, but there's plenty out there that get the job done, at least when it comes to protecting you from the cold wind.
And I mean, listen, bolt-on fairings, are a thing. I mean, I think even the club-style bolt-on fairings are going to keep some wind at least off of your chest.
Every little bit helps. What you're talking about.
Every little bit helps.
When you're talking 30 degrees, it all helps.
But there are a lot of companies out there that make, bolt-on bat wings. If you have a soft tail, Advan is now making the bolt-on, like ST, FXR style fairing. Yep. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. I think that's about it. I mean, that's the stuff that we think is important to help extend your season. If you do, a combination of these, all of these, whatever, like you can still ride year round.
Oh yeah.
Granted, I mean, I don't care who you are. You can talk as tough as you want. Like, I'm not going out to ride in the snow if I don't have to.
No.
I'm riding in the snow if I get caught in the snow and I have to be home. But otherwise, I'm not getting up in the morning. Oh, it's snowing. Let's go for a ride. But cold weather doesn't have to end the season.
Yeah, no.
It really doesn't. And I get it. Some of you guys are from, born and raised in warm climates. I get like dropping down into 50s, 40s, 30s. It's just not something you want to do. And I get it, man. That's fine.
Yep.
That's fine. You don't have, I mean, if you are comfortable and happy being a fair weather rider, own it, man. I know Carolyn is. You know, she's like, it hits a temperature. No, she doesn't want to bundle up. She doesn't want to do all this stuff. Once it hits a temperature, she's done till spring. That's fine. But for those of you that really want to keep riding and don't want to put it away, you don't have to if you don't want to. There's ways around it. Take some of these suggestions, put them all together, combine them, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, with good gear, you can be good down into the 20s.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that do a lot lower than that. You know what I mean? Like, it all depends too how much you want to ride. How much it means to you. So, yeah, that's it, man. We just wanted to hit that up. It's that time of year up here, so it's it's relevant to a lot of folks living in the Northeast or just in the North. So. Don't put the bikes away, man. Don't winterize them. We like to. I mean, and again, we're not out daily. We hit this time of year. We're not out daily, but there's going to be either something we want to ride to that we just want to ride, or the weather gets up a little bit enough to where it's higher than normal for the time of year. So you're like, let's get out.
Take advantage of the day.
Let's just get out. I try to get out once or twice a month, all through the winter at least. So. Never winterizing, never putting it away. So
I haven't winterized since I've been down here.
No.
So
no. Yeah, that's it, man. That's today's video, guys. If you have other ideas or other things that you do to ride in extreme temperatures, cold temperatures that we didn't mention, put them in the comments. Any comments are good. We're cool with that. Give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed and you're into the bike content, ride content, rally content,
hit that subscribe button.
Install content. What else do we do?
Beer content.
Beer content. If you're into that stuff and you're not already subscribed, hit that button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps us out. And again, comments are great, man. We'll take all comments.
Yeah.
Even if you want to leave us a crappy comment, we'll just use it later for another video. So appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. And until the next video, stay safe and try to stay warm.
See you in the next one.
Later.